So, yun guys, as we were able to discuss the history of Java, we can say that it is very interesting history. It was originally designed for interactive television, but it was too advanced technology for the digital cable television industry at that time. So later on, when Java technology was incorporated by Netscape, it became one of the most powerful tools in Java programming, most especially in the field of object-oriented programming. So, ayun pa. Let's continue and move forward with the other uses of Java. Okay, as we can see, Java works on different platforms. As I have already mentioned to you guys, it can work on any devices and even on any operating system. So it can work in Windows, Macintosh, Linux, Raspberry Pi, etc. So it is also one of the most popular programming language in the world. As you can see, dahil sa madaling siyang madaling mag-code using Java programming, halos lahat ng application na ginagamit natin nowadays, mapa standalone system man yan, mobile device application, has been created using Java. So it is easy to learn and simple to use, open source and free. You don't really have to pay for anything just to use the Java program, and it is very secure, fast, and powerful. It also has a huge community support. Well, tens of millions of developers uses this kind of Java programming. So, ilan yun lang sa mga dahilan. Now, let's discuss further ano ba yung naging mga key points and why Java became a powerful tool and pinakasikat na gamitin ng mga developers, no? So one of there are actually 12 features of Java, and according to techbidvan.com, these are some of the reasons why Java is so popular and became a useful programming language because of its excellent features. It actually played a very important role in contributing to the popularity of the language, where these terminologies that we can see are called the Java buzzwords. So first reason is it's object-oriented. So obviously, it's an OOP programming language, and everything in Java is an object. Object-oriented means we organize our software as a combination of different types of objects that incorporate both data and behavior. Object-oriented programming is a methodology that simplifies software development and maintenance by providing some rules. The second one is simple. Kaya tulad ng nabanggit ko kanina, simple and easy to learn, and its syntax is clean and easy to understand. Well, according to Sun Microsystem, Java language is a simple programming language because of the following. The syntax of Java is based on C++ as well. So for those who already know how to program C++, they can easily incorporate their learnings in C++ in using Java programming. Next, the Java removed many complicated and rarely used features. In fact, dinesign din si Java para masolusyonan yung mga naging errors ng ibang programming language. Third, there is no need to remove unreferenced objects because there is an automatic garbage collection in Java. When we say garbage collection, meron kasi tayong mga nakikreate na codes and memory, it creates a memory allocation for those certain codes or objects rather, na hindi naman natin ginagamit. So, in other programming language, ang programmer ang merong responsibility to remove those unreferenced objects. But in Java, it's being automatically collected, and that's what we call garbage collection. So automatic na siyang ginagawa. The programmer doesn't need to do anything. So yun ang kagandahan din, no? Number 3, Java is secured. As we try to search for different applications for financial services, for banking applications, maraming gumagamit ng Java kasi nga very secure to. Why? It can be developed using virus-free systems. And it is also because, it is secured also because it has no explicit pointer. Later on, i-discuss natin yun kung ano ba yung explicit pointer as we progress on the lesson. Java programs run inside a virtual machine sandbox. It also has a class loader. Class loader. Ano pong ibig sabihin nun? This class loader adds security by separating the package for the classes of the local file system from those that are imported from the network source. So from there, yung mga an illegal access over the network can already be avoided kasi hindi sila magkasama sa isang package. Nabubukod yung mga network resources. Also, the reason why it's secured is because it has a bytecode verifier where it checks the code fragments for illegal code that can violate access rights to the objects. And lastly, meron siyang tinatawag na security manager where it determines what sources or resources a class can also be provided by an application developer explicitly through using technologies such as cryptography, etc. So those are the reasons why it is secured. Number 4 feature of Java is it's platform independent because it is different from other languages like C, C++, etc., which are compiled into platform-specific machines. When si Java, you do need to write once and write anywhere language, kind of that. A platform is the hardware or software environment in which a program runs. So, ibig sabihin, the codes in Java are reusable because it can be used on any platform. Next po, the Java is robust. Actually, the meaning of robust is very strong. Now, ito yung ilan sa mga dahilan kung bakit siya naging robust. It uses strong memory management. That's why it runs fast and secure. There is a lack of pointers that avoids security problems already. Java provides automatic garbage collection, katulad ng nabanggit natin kanina. And then there are exception handling and the type checking mechanism in Java. So, for exception handling, for example, nagkaroon ng error sa pag-enter ng record ang user, then the exception handling can handle those kinds of errors. So, we also have the sixth feature of Java, which it's portable because it facilitates you to carry the Java bytecode to any platform as well. So somehow it goes hand in hand in becoming a platform independent. No, it doesn't require any implementation anymore, just like any other programming language. The seventh feature is that it is architecture neutral rather. Architecture neutral because there are no implementation dependent features. So for example, the size of primitive types is fixed. Well, comparing it to in another programming language like C, for example, integer data type occupies 2 bytes of memory for 32-bit architecture, and then for for 64-bit architecture, it occupies 4 bytes of the memory. But in Java, it occupies 4 bytes of memory already for both 32 and 64 architectures in Java. So therefore, applications that has been created using Java can run on a 32 or 64-bit architectures already. Next po natin is that Java is dynamic because it supports the dynamic loading of classes. It means classes are loaded on demand when it supports a function from its native languages such as C and the C++. Well, Java supports compilation and automatic memory management, which is also known as garbage collection. So, yun po, our 8th feature. And then, our 9th feature is Java is interpreted. So, it is way too faster than other traditional interpreted programming languages because Java bytecode is close to native code, just like I have mentioned a while ago. It is still a little bit slower though than a compiled language such as C++. However, Java is an interpreted language that is that is why it is slower than compiled languages. So, magkaiba naman kasi sila ng way to be compiled, no? Ibang languages kasi kino-compile sila while the Java is being interpreted. So, medyo slower siya compared to compiled programs. Kagandahan mo lang, ma'am, paano kung bakit? So, mas mabilis pala pag compiled programs, bakit hindi na lang po yun? The problem with compiled programs is that it's not a reusable program. So, if you're going to use it on a different platform, you have to rewrite the codes para gumana siya sa ibang platform. So, yun po. Pag interpreted, it helps the platform to recognize the codes that you have written on another machine or another platform. So, yun po ang kagandaan doon. And then, number 10, it has high performance because Java is faster than other traditional interpreted programming languages. So, katulad ng nabanggit ko kanina, it's interpreted but it's actually one of the fastest interpreted kind of programming language. So, meron din tayong tinatawag na multi-threaded feature of Java. Ano naman yung multi-threaded? Threaded rather. So, it is a thread. First of all, it's like a separate program. Now, it's being executed concurrently. We can write Java programs that deal with many tasks at once by defining multiple tasks or multiple threads. The main advantage of multi-threading is that it doesn't occupy memory for each thread. So instead, it shares a common memory area. Threads are important for multimedia and web applications para mas mabilis na mag-run yung environment or yung environment mo when you are actually working with web. And last feature of Java is that it is distributed because it facilitates users to create distributed applications. So, this feature of Java makes us able to access files by calling the methods from any machine on the internet. So, kaya po marami ding nag-create na application using Java for web is that it is actually a distributed, it has a distributed feature rather. So, yun po yung 12 buzzwords of Java or the features of Java. So, let us have a quick recap. 1. Object-oriented. 2. Simple. 3. Secured. 4. Platform independent. 5. Robust. 6. Portable. 7. Architecture neutral. 8. Dynamic. 9. Interpreted. 10. High performance. 11. Multi-threaded. And 12. Distributed. Okay, let us move forward to the different applications of Java. According to Sun, there are 3 billion devices that run Java. There are many devices where Java is currently being used na paulit-ulit ko na binabanggit. So, some of them are as follows. Desktop applications such as Acrobat Reader, Media Player, and some of the antivirus has been created using Java. Web applications, enterprise applications such as banking, mobile, embedded systems, smart card, robotics, and games has been created using Java program. Now, meron tayong different types of Java application. Yun po yung apat, where is actually most common lang naman ito. Meron tayong standalone system or application. There are also known as desktop applications or Windows-based applications. There are traditional software that we need to install on every machine. So, kapag sinabi kasi as standalone, you have to install it using a package and then install mo siya dun sa device kung saan mo siya gagamitin. Now, mostly, ginagamit naman to sa desktop and Windows-based application. Now, we also have the second one, web application that runs on the server side. It creates a dynamic page. It's called a web application. So, you don't have to install anything on this kind of application, but it actually runs on a server side para makapag-create siya ng more dynamic web pages or interactive web pages. So, meron din tayong enterprise application. These are distributed in nature, such as banking applications, kaya siya tinawag na enterprise. So, then the next one is mobile application. An application which is created for mobile devices is called a mobile application. So, obviously, Android and Java are used for creating mobile applications. So, ilan lang yun sa mga types of types of Java applications. Then, let us understand better what are really the goals of Java programming. Java programming provides a language which is easy to program by. How? In eliminating the pitfalls of other language. When we say pitfalls, ito yung mga hindi nagawa ng ibang programming language or yung mga features na hindi naman kinakailangan. So, it's also easy to be programmed because it's object-oriented and it provide means to make code streamlined and clear. So, yun naman po ang kagandahan doon. Second reason or goal is provide an interpreted environment. It improves the speed of development, code portability. So, kaya nga natin nababanggit kanina, it's portable. Enable the users to run more than one thread of activity. Ito po yung multi-threaded. And it provides a means of checking code modules that are loaded to assure security. So, kaya maraming banking, finances, institution ang gumagawa ng, ang nagpapakreate ng application, and most of the developers use Java to create such. So, guys, as we have mentioned the goals of Java programming, nakikita natin na na-reach naman nila yung goal when they created the Java programming. So, dahil halos lahat ng nandito sa goals nila ay naging feature na ng Java. Now, let's move on and understand the other terminologies that are very important in Java. So, meron tayong tinatawag na Java Virtual Machine. So, kanina na-mention ko yan. Now, let us understand better ano ba yung JVM for short. So, it's actually a virtual machine that allows a computer to run or execute Java programs. Basically, it is an engine. So, it works as a runtime environment of the Java code, and then the JVM converts the Java code into a machine language. So, once it has become a machine language, when you compile a .class file, it goes to the Java virtual machine, and then the Java virtual machine returns the output. So for this one, the Java virtual machine is a part of Java runtime environment. The basic task for a Java virtual machine consists of loading the code, then verifying the code before the execution of the code. So JVM consists of various components such as class loader, list of space assigned by the JVM like stack, an execution engine, and a few native libraries. So it might sound too technical for you guys, especially kung kayo ay nag-i-start pa lang na mag-program. Lalo na sa Java, no? Pero yun naman is iisa-isahin natin, and eventually you'll get the hang of it. So, ilan din sa mga nabanggit ko kanina is the garbage collection. I think I was able to discuss this a while ago, so let me just read the slide for you. Garbage collection, the allocated memory that is no longer needed should be deallocated. So, ibig sabihin nun ay ma-remove or malinis. So, in other languages, the allocation is the programmer responsibility, while in Java, it already checked for and frees memory that is no longer needed, and this is done automatically. So, ilan yun sa napakagandang feature ni Java para mag-work or mag-run ng mas mabilis yung inyong program. So, ilan sa Java code security na feature ni Java, paano ba siya nag-work, no? So, intindihin natin, bakit ba nagkaroon ng paano nakakapag-create ng secured application si Java? Paano yung ginagawa niya? So, it actually performs 3 tasks. Then, it loads code, it verifies the code, and then tsaka niya execute yung code. So, to actually discuss it further, discuss natin isa-isa. So, using the diagram, no? So, ito yung ating source code, Java compiler, and the bytecode. Then, we also have the network or file system. So, ito yung class loader natin, bytecode verifier, the JVM, the JIT compiler, and then Java runtime environment, and then the operating system all together. So, paano ba siya nag-work on a Java code security? So, meron tayong tinatawag na class loader. Sa class loader, it loads all classes needed for the execution of a program. Then, it adds security by separating namespaces for the classes of the local file system from those imported from the network sources. So, ito naman yon. And then, what will it do? It will limit any Trojan horse applications because the local classes are always loaded first. So, hindi na siya nakukuha or napapasok ng kahit anong virus dahil naloload siya kaagad ng local classes natin. So, the next is the bytecode verifier, no? Kanina, ito yung second task natin. What does it do? It makes 4 passes on the code to ensure that the code adheres to the JVM application, the code does not violate the system integrity, and there is no illegal data conversion. Then lastly, the parameter types for all operational code are correct. So, yun yung mga chine-check niya to make the Java code secured. So, lastly, yung ating interpreter. So, an interpreter is actually a computer program that directly executes. For example, it performs instructions written in a programming or scripting language without requiring them previously to have been compiled into a machine language program. So perhaps mas makakapag-compare kayo ng compiled programs versus interpreted programs kung kayo ay nakapag-code na using C++. Kasi as C++ program is a compiled program example. So, yun po yung different Java code security natin, the the class loader, the bytecode verifier, and the interpreter. Next, ma'am, so we actually already know the things that we need to know in Java, but how do we code using Java? So, marami po tayong mga editors in Java. So, we start with some of the common. Kasi ito yung mga dati na sigurong ginagamit. Pero sa ngayon, as the technology evolves, marami nang na-create na editor in Java, hindi lang pang desktop or pang computer, no? What are actually code editors or source code editors? They are software that is designed specifically to help developers in coding. These are actually the text editors with some additional functionalities to manage and edit code. It can be standalone or it can be a part of an integrated development environment or IDE for short. So, and actually an IDE is another software. It's an environment that creates, has own components, libraries, and then it is designed for you to be used to make programming codes, and then mas maganda na nga lang siya kasi it's in a graphical user interface. Unlike before, siguro, I don't know if you can appreciate this, no? Before, when we are still programming in Java, wala pa kami nung IDE na ginagamit. Actually, meron nang available, pero our professor back in college decided that we code using Notepad. So, mas siya, hard coding. Kasi unlike nung mga IDE, meron na siyang graphical user interface na parang i-drag and drop mo na lang. Tapos, ilan sa mga codes na hindi mo maalala, nandoon, makikita mo na kaagad. May suggestions kung ano yung possible na methods, na keywords na hinahanap mo. Mas madali ang pagko-code. Pero unlike before, kapag ka hard coding na tinatawag, kailangan sa ulo mo lahat. So, the only way for you to code completely is if you research, sa ulo, jot down, and all of that. Pero ngayon, mas madali na using IDEs. Now, some of the common IDEs is eto yung mga nandito, Context, NetBeans. So, while, by the way, yung NetBeans ang i-advise ko sa inyo na gamitin ninyo if you're using a Windows operating system, computer laptops. So, JEdit, pwede din, TextPad, Eclipse, IntelliJ, Android Studio, or Notepad++. So, for the time being, if you have a computer at home, take advantage of that. Kasi, I need you to download NetBeans para mas madali din sa inyong makasabay kung kayo ay merong mga computers. Now, paano ma'am? Wala po akong computer. I don't have a way para makahiram kasi hindi naman po ganun may kaya kami. I would advise you to actually use other type of compilers. So, meron tayong mga online Java compilers. Ilan lang to sa mga kinuha ko on the list. Pero, meron tayong online GDB, meron silang Java compiler. Ang Programmings, meron din. JDoodle, meron din. W3 Schools, meron din yan. Tutorials or Java 3 tutorials, meron din silang Java compiler. Actually, madami. So, this kind of online compilers, hindi mo na kailangang i-install. Gagamitin mo na lang yung compiler nila online. It's just that you must have an internet connection for you to use the compiler. Yun lang naman yung catch doon. So, kailangan naka-online kayo. But given the situation, I think the school actually provides you an internet allowance. So, I hope that shouldn't be a problem na wala kayong pang-load kasi meron po tayong ayun, I think naputol yung ating recording. So, ayun po. I think there should be doesn't have any problem when it comes to internet allowance kasi meron po tayo nun. Magiging problema lang natin is yung network itself. Kung hindi, kung laging walang connection dahil sa network nyo na din, I think it's beyond their control. So, how about those who doesn't want to go online pero gusto nila meron sila sa device nila or sa cellphone nila or tablet. Meron po akong cellphone or tablet sa bahay. Pwede po ba akong mag-code sa Java using that device? Of course you can. Ito ilan sa mga Android Java compilers. So it can work on Android platforms. Pwede kayong mag-download ng Java IDE Droid, Java Editor, Droid Edit, Decoder, Code Picker Pro 8 or Android IDE, Anacode IDE, Code the Code Editor, Java and IDE. These are actually the top 9 Android applications and IDE for Java coders and programmers according to Alex Marshall's blog. No, so most of it are actually an IDE or integrated development environment that can run on Android and allows you to natively create Android applications without the need to use the Android SDK such as in Macintosh, Windows, or Linux because it already has its own library. Yun nga lang, to be honest with you guys, using this kind of Android Java compilers, you can somehow create basic to intermediate projects only. So when you need to create a large that requires large files, memory allocation, and other complex packages that are included in NetBeans, wala po sa kanila. So please expect that there will be slight changes or slight difference rather in using this kind of apps comparing to other desktop application. Pero, since you are just, studying, you're a beginner, then I think there should be no problem with you guys on using this kind of compilers. So, ilan to sa mga Android apps, no? Pero, when you go to Google Play Store, actually, marami kayong makikita. So, if you downloaded a different kind of application, okay lang din naman sa akin. I'm not going to require you to download a specific app. You can try all of this. Kung ano yung sa palagay nyo is mas maganda, then yun ang piliin nyo. It doesn't really matter as long as it is a Java compiler. Because to be honest with you, I haven't been able to try all of it. Yung ilan tinatry ko lang para lang magkaroon ako ng feel, oh, ito pala yung itsura nun, ito pala yung kung paano siya gamitin. Pero most of the time kasi, at NetBeans na yung ginagamit ko dahil mas madaling mag-code using computer. So, ma'am, wala naman po akong Android device. However, I have an Apple device. Meron akong iPhone. So, very rich kid, no? May iPhone, rich kid pero sa CCC nag-aaral. But, hindi naman maiwasan yon. I mean, paano kung wala naman talaga kayong option, kundi yun lang. So, I would recommend you guys to use iOS Java IDEs. So, meron tayong tinatawag na Jedona. It's a compiler for iPhone that lets you write and run Java code on your iOS devices. Well, just like any other Android IDEs, the same lang naman yung purpose niya. And most of the time, the same features they have it. Using a Java, using for phone application. So, ang decoder, it can also run on iOS 2. Sa Android, it can also run in there. In fact, ang decoder, hindi lang siya Java compiler. Compiler din siya ng ibang programming languages such as C, C#, Python, Ruby, etc. Marami siya. So, pwede nyo siyang i-download kung gusto nyo may gusto kayong maraming pag-aralan na computer programming language. So, meron din tayong tinatawag na code compiler and then Pico compiler. So, ilan lang yan sa mga top Java IDEs. And again, kung meron kayong ibang gagamitin na mas sa tingin nyo, mas madaling gamitin sa inyo, it's not a problem for me. So, yun lang. For the computers, I will advise you to use NetBeans. So, on my end kasi, dun sa i-upload namin na lesson sa inyo, iyon ay NetBeans 12 version. Ngayon, meron na tayong Apache version ng NetBeans. This is the latest one. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, that's Apache NetBeans 14 version. So, ma'am, wala pa po ako noon. Paano po ako i-install ng NetBeans sa aking computer? Kasi meron naman po akong computer sa bahay, so I wanna take advantage of it. Now, I am going to direct you to this YouTube link. Pero in fact, I am going to include it here on this video presentation already para mas tuloy-tuloy yung inyong pag-aaral kung paano i-set up ang NetBeans. Now, this is very important, guys, no? Before you install anything on your computer, it requires two components. Kapag nag-install ka ng NetBeans, kailangan meron kang JDK na tinatawag. Ano yung JDK? So, it's actually a Java development kit. Without this installed on your computer, your NetBeans will not work. So, again, without JDK, your NetBeans will not work. JDK kasi is not automatically included when you buy a laptop. Hindi siya usually nandoon. So, dapat meron kayo nito. So, I will suggest you to download JDK 8 for Windows 10 and 11 users. Now, a lower version of JDK is advisable for those computers na operating system na has lower version as well. Pero I think most of the people nowadays are using Windows 10 and 11 already. So, you're good to go in using JDK 8 version. So, once you install that, then that's the time you need to install the Apache NetBeans as well. Ma'am, I do not have wala po akong software. Pwede po ba akong humingi sa inyo? Actually, hindi nyo na kailangang humingi sa akin because you can actually download it online for free. Kung naalala nyo yung sinabi ko kanina, that Java is free, eto na rin yan. Even the IDE for Java is free as well. So, all you need to do is to follow the step-by-step guide that I will provide to you, and then perhaps you're gonna ready to use NetBeans in coding Java programming. So, let's watch this video.